Welcome to the Cross Canada Spotlight. I'm Mike Arsenault. Every week we take a look at a handful of the most interesting and entertaining stories produced across the Global News Network. First up this week, a senior farmer in Alberta had his truck stolen, and then the thief hit the farmer with his own truck and took off. On the road to recovery, the senior's friends and neighbors stepped up to help.
Walking is still painful for Dean Dahl, but he considers himself lucky to even be on his feet. He spent over 2 weeks in hospital after being hit by a truck.
I was finishing up some swathing and seen a vehicle slow down and another person jump out.
Dean was working on his farm near Spruce View on September 18th when he says he saw a man steal his truck that was parked on the side of the road.
I was quite furious and I went flying over there. This bonehead just cranked his truck over and took me, bang. I flew through the air some 30 to 40 feet, lit in the ditch.
Dean was seriously injured, and he says he attempted to crawl from the ditch when fortunately a neighbor spotted him. He was flown by Stars to Calgary. While recovering from broken bones and a concussion, his thoughts turned to his farm.
How am I going to get my crop off? I mean, how am I going to combine it? Because I can't even walk.
A week later, an amazing sight on Dean's canola field. 10 combines and an army of over 60 neighbors harvesting his entire 200 acres.
I think it's just something you do. It's the right thing to do. You help somebody out when they're in a bind, and you just do it. It's heartwarming. It's nice to see everybody come together. Dean is a really good community member.
Dean watched the harvest happen from a laptop in his hospital bed.
And there's just people laughing and having a ball. I mean, it was just so wonderful to see a community come together. It just nothing mattered anymore.
Dean's stolen truck was recovered a short distance from where it was taken. RCMP believe there were several people involved. No arrests have been made. Dean believes his story shows there's far more good in his community than bad.
And there was just no time. We had everything was hauled and off to the elevators and sold. And I can't believe it. It just is. Well, I can believe it because I've been here for all my life, and this kind of stuff happens out here.
He's grateful for his neighbors and his recovery, and he hopes the people who did this to him get the help they need too. Carolyn Curry de Castillo, Global News.
Dean was getting choked up talking about his neighbors, and I got some goosebumps on my arm seeing all of those combines ready to harvest Dean's field. It's great to hear that Dean is focusing on the good that came from the incident. To the East Coast now, where a 23-year-old researcher has designed a 3D printed device that is able to detect COVID-19 in wastewater effectively and also cheaper than other alternatives.
23-year-old PhD student Emily Hayes from Dalhousie University has discovered a COVID-19 testing device that can detect COVID-19 through sewers. The COVID-19 sewer cage is made by a 3D printer and then assembled by hand. The device has been coined the Casca.
The Casca is deployed into our sewer systems, and it's able to sit in the flow of the wastewater. It contains an absorbent material that is able to interact with the wastewater and absorb any viral particles. We then pull the Casca up from the wastewater and we're able to analyze it in the lab.
In comparison to traditional methods of wastewater sampling, which can be expensive, the Casca is very cost efficient.
It's only about $1 to print them and to analyze them.
There are several units around the Halifax area, as well as monitoring the residences at Dalhousie University. So far, the team has sold over 100 Cascas around Canada and worldwide, including France, the United Kingdom, and Australia.
We've been able to detect the virus using these in the Northwest Territories.
The project has been ongoing since last year, and research assistant Jen Urjevec says being able to be a part of the research has been surreal.
This project is so innovative. We're always learning new things every day, and to be a part of surveying the wastewater in the region for COVID-19, it's been incredible, and I feel very grateful to be a part of this important research.
Hayes says she thinks it is important to see what's next in furthering research efforts surrounding wastewater sampling.
And I really think that we can utilize this method beyond the COVID-19 pandemic, so I'm really excited and passionate about this.
Amber Friday, Global News, Halifax.
Okay, I can't resist, but there's a reason why I put that story in our number 2 spot this week. Low-hanging fruit, I know, but it was right there. Now in BC, a woman had a close encounter with a meteorite. This story is incredible.
I was in this bedroom right here.
Call it luck, call it chance.
It came through the roof right up in there.
But there are some things that just can't be explained.
I think I'm just in wonder. Yeah, you know, every time I go into the bedroom, I go, oh my goodness, that could have hit me.
On the night of October 4th, Ruth Hamilton had been asleep for hours when she awoke to the sound of her dog barking.
Ready?
Then, moments later, this came hurtling into her bedroom.
It sounded like an explosion happening. Jumped out of bed, ran over and turned on the light and saw a hole in my roof.
The 66-year-old immediately called 911. It was only then she discovered what had happened.
Flipped back the top pillow and there was the rock.
A gray charcoal chunk of rock the size of a softball came tearing through Hamilton's roof, landing in between her pillows just centimeters from where her head had been only seconds earlier.
Just thinking of that just makes my heart race.
RCMP was sent to investigate, initially suspecting the rock was debris from a construction site nearby. But a quick phone call confirmed there had not been any blasting that night. However, workers on site did report seeing a meteorite exploding before it disappeared. And on social media, even further proof. Images have surfaced captioned, "The huge fireball last night at Lake Louise. What a spectacular shot."
It was well over a kilogram, so I would say that big, yeah.
Hamilton has reported the find to a team of experts at Western University, who have since confirmed the rock is in fact from space, likely a part of the solar system's astrobelt.
It went through tin, asphalt shingles, plywood, and then the drywall.
While Hamilton was shaken up, she wasn't hurt. And now she has a story to tell that's truly out of this world.
I'm just thankful to be alive and, yeah, be here talking to you and my family.
Kylie Stanton, Global News.
Ruth is a very lucky woman. And how did her dog sense that the meteorite was going to make an impact? Further evidence that dogs really are the greatest pets. And Ruth needs to buy herself a lottery ticket. In Saskatchewan, a long-awaited reunion took place between a man, his wife, and his newborn daughter.
I'm hoping and praying that my wife will be here soon.
Rashid and Werda were forced to live apart for years. Married, but on different sides of the planet, they've been waiting for her Canadian visa, but no longer. On Wednesday, Werda arrived in Saskatoon, her new home, with their new baby. It wasn't easy. Werda was a refugee in Iran, fleeing religious persecution in Pakistan years ago, and couldn't get passage to Canada. The pandemic, politics, and prejudice keeping them apart.
I'm very happy and excited that I was able to bring my daughter with me because it was a long struggle. We were waiting for Werda for almost 3 years.
Rashid could make only a few rare visits to Iran and then to Pakistan, where they hoped they'd have more luck with a visa. Early this year, he learned he needed to make another trip to get Werda out. She was pregnant. Rashid tried to be there on July 21st for the birth.
My flight got cancelled for 11th, and then they rescheduled it for 15th, but again it was cancelled.
The baby was early, and he missed it. Werda had to give birth alone.
I was thinking, oh my God, I'm in this time alone. My parents are not there and my husband is not here. So it's very bad for me.
Rashid got a call that things weren't going well.
It was a very stressing moment because doctors were saying that Michelle's heartbeat is not working properly. So, I was just crying.
But everything was okay. Werda and little Michelle are both healthy. Rashid gives all the credit to Werda.
She's a brave woman, and I am very lucky to have Werda in my life.
Werda says she wants to return to school and to travel to see Jasper and Banff. But above all, she and Rashid, and I'm sure Michelle too, can't wait to finally start their new life together.
Now I'm so happy. Oh, thanks God, my dreams come true.
Nathaniel Dove, Global News.
What a sweet story. One that had the potential to go so wrong, had a happy ending for all involved. Michelle has certainly experienced a lot in her young life thus far. Our last story of the week is an update I shared with you on a story from a few months ago. It's about a man in Alberta named Ken.
What's one small step for some is a giant step for Ken Hildebrand. On Thursday, he used a brand new prosthetic leg for the first time.
I'd really like to thank all the people who helped make this dream possible.
A former paramedic from the Crow's Nest Pass, Ken had his right leg amputated in 2008 after spending 3 nights crushed under an ATV in the Alberta wilderness. He's had the same prosthesis ever since, which stopped working several months ago. Paired with a left leg damaged from polio, walking has been a battle.
Excited for my dad that he gets this opportunity to be able to move around again, and hopefully he won't keep falling and banging himself up.
But prosthetic legs aren't cheap, and with a price tag of nearly $80,000, friend Deborah Hinter started a GoFundMe page in late August.
I expected that we would reach the goal, but I did not expect we would reach it in 1 month.
I thought it's going to take us a while. It's going to take us several months to get somewhere kind of close to the goal.
But more than 600 donations amounted to $86,700, crushing their expectations. With that money comes the Autobot X3, a high-tech, fully waterproof device with a microprocessor-controlled knee. Sales rep Andy Mason says this is no ordinary leg.
It's a prosthetic knee with a hydraulic unit in it that is controlled by a computer. So the idea is that it replicates what the amputated leg would do.
The prosthetists say they still have some adjustments to make before it's fully functional, but Ken is ready to take his leg home and start learning.
So much easier to get up and to even walk than with the old leg.
Bringing him one step closer to living the life he's been dreaming of.
I'm going to be able to dance with it.
Eloise Terrien, Global News.
Dance like nobody's watching, Ken. I remember first hearing about Ken's story back in August. Although he has a lot of work ahead of him, it's clear the new prosthetic will be life-changing for him. Well, that's it for the Cross Canada Spotlight this week. Be sure to watch Global News Weekend Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. on the Global TV app.